On Sports Paws, the women's ice hockey team entered the first round of ECAC playoffs.
And the men's basketball team went up against Fairfield. We'll see how they did.
Acrobatics and tumbling had their first home meet of the season.
All this and more on Sports Paws.
Welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Brittany Brown-Lieben, joined alongside Katie Valukovic. Katie, you ready to get into some QU sports?
I'm ready, Brittany, so we're going to jump right in. The women's ice hockey team went up against Harvard on Saturday in the first round of ECAC playoffs. The Bobcats begin playoffs against Harvard Crimson on Saturday, and we're going to roll right into the first period where Maddie Samoskevich tries to get into the back of the net, but gets blocked, and Veronica Bach rebounds to get the point for the Bobcats. It is 1-0. Then Zoe Oon slaps that puck, but again, it's blocked. So the rebound comes from Sophie Urban, and the Bobcats are up 2-0. Gabby Davidson-Adams makes a breakaway, and Logan Andres makes the save. It's 2-0 for the Bobcats. Heading into the second period, graduate Alexa Hoskin gets a clean shot into the back of the net. And then Maya Biati takes a shot, but Andres once again makes the save right there. And it was a beautiful save by her. Then moments later, Mia Lapata makes a shot, and Madison Chandler sneaks it into the goal. It is 5-0 for the Bobcats. In the third period, Brooke Manning takes aim, and Ella Bayrad dives to try and get the point, but it piles up, and the puck is loose, and the play continues. Then Kaylin LaMarche and Kate Riley are passing back and forth, and LaMarche ultimately gets the point. Then later, LaMarche steals the puck from Madison Chandler, and then Chandler gets her second goal of the game. Then finally, Julia Neers loses control of the puck, but she regains it and makes a backhanded goal to seal the game. Bobcats are now 9-0 and will move on to face Cornell next week. The win was a testament to the leadership of the graduating class. Q30's Eli Ehlers has more.
They have so much experience, and that's what it comes down to. They're prepared, they're confident, they know what it looks like in the playoffs, they know what it feels like to win, what it's going to take to win, and the composure that you need. So to have 11 of them that are seniors and fifth years is just so important to our success.
11 seniors and grad students. Their experience has been critical this year, and it showed on Saturday as they scored 11 of the 21 total points.
Yeah, I think just kind of knowing the experience, having it game by game, and kind of going into it like preparing the same way we prepare all the time, and just knowing to everyone else that it's the same thing, it's the same game we're playing out there, and ready to kind of attack with that.
Another player who has experience is Emerson Jarvis. While Jarvis is only a sophomore, she played for Ohio State last year before transferring to Quinnipiac. She has played in big-time games like the WCHA Championship and the NCAA National Championship.
Yeah, Emerson's been such a big part of our team since she got here. She's worked in very well with our culture. Her speed brings so much on the ice, and it's really nice to have her.
The team will look to keep their championship hopes alive next weekend as they'll travel to Ithaca, New York to face the Cornell Big Red. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Eli Ehlers.
A women's ice hockey player received a yearly award this week. Forward Kayla LaMarche was named to the ECAC All-Rookie team. LaMarche has led the freshman for the Bobcats as she has 6 goals and 15 assists. She also has most assists overall, the ECAC rookie forwards. In the regular season, she has put up 10 goals and 23 assists. LaMarche recently scored 1 goal and had 2 assists against Harvard in the opening round of the ECAC playoffs. In another week of games, let's take a look at the ECAC bracket. After the opening round, the ECAC now moves into the quarterfinals. The number 5 Bobcats move to face the number 4 Cornell Big Red in New York. Number 6 seed Yale will face the 3rd seed Lawrence, 2nd seed Clarkson against 7th seed Princeton, and number 8 Brown will go against the 1st seed Colgate. The quarterfinals will be taking place next weekend with the games being best of 3.
The number 1 men's basketball team took on the number 2 Fairfield Stags on Friday night. On Friday night, we see the number 1 Quinnipiac Bobcats take on the number 2 Fairfield Stags at home in Handham. And if you look at that, it's a packed student section for the Bobcats. Let's move right into the first half where we see Mapalock gets a fast break dunk to get the place bumping early. It's a back and forth early game as we move midway through the first half. We see Jalen Leach hit a 3-pointer at the top of the key. He finished with 27 points on the night. The Stags currently have the lead, but a minute later, Fairfield continues to splash from downtown. The Stags can't miss. Bobcats down 3, but Amari Tice outside the arc hits the falling buzzer beater to tie the ball game going to the locker room. Let's move right into the second half, where we see Doug Young coming off the bench and hits the contested three. He finishes game with 17 points. The Cats are currently up 5. On the other end, we see Barima Sek slip a screen and is wide open in the paint and slams one home. Right now, it's a tie ball game. It's coming back to Belonk over Sek. Hits a huge tray to lock the basketball game up with 6 minutes left to go. But sadly, less than 3 minutes left. Bryson Gooding keeps hitting these threes, and the Stags take a 4-point lead. The game's starting to get out of hand. The Bobcats cannot come back. Stags have wave the Bobcats in the student section out of here. The game's finished 85-81 as the Bobcats look to break the losing streak at Ryder over the weekend. Fairfield and Quinnipiac being Connecticut rivals means that relationships between the athletes have grown over the years. Q30's Beckett Calkins has more.
The Nutmeg State is having success on the hardwood in 2024, and the relationship between the teams has never been stronger.
An in-state rivalry, and we have talked in earlier press conferences about how well Central's playing, how well Yale's playing, obviously UConn. So there's a lot of really good basketball in the state of Connecticut.
The success throughout the state leads to respect between players on and off the court, like Amari Tice and Michael Rogan, who played together in both AAU and at South Kent, a prep school in the state.
We've always been close, being like the same position type, working out together. And his parents, I'm super close with his parents. Our families are pretty close. So every time we see each other, it's like, we feel good about it. We just talk to each other like we're brothers.
The relationship between Tice and Rogan extends to his parents as well, with Tice saying that Rogan's parents are always supporting him.
Every time they see me, they're super excited. They tell me how good I'm doing. They actually watch, nearly every game and, keep up to date with how I'm doing. So they just let me know how proud they are of me.
The players aren't the only ones who have ties between Fairfield and Quinnipiac, as Tom Pecora talked about how close he is with Fairfield's coaching staff.
I'm very close with the coaching staff. I mean, Chris Casey, myself, and Glenn Breaker, who came to him from St. Francis, we've been friends for as long as I've been in this business. We're the same era, so we came up as young coaches. We used to work at Eastern basketball camp together before it became Hoop Group, so we go a long way.
After splitting the season series, time will tell if the Bobcats and Stags meet again in Atlantic City. For Q30 Sports, I'm Beckett Calkins.
After the loss on Sunday, the men's basketball looked to rebound at Ryder. The men's basketball team is now on a 4-game losing streak. Let's take a look at the new MAC standings. The new team in the 1 spot is Fairfield, who is 12-5 in conference play. Quinnipiac is now in 2nd after both losses this weekend, out of a sole possession of 1st for the first time in over a month. In 3rd, we have St. Peter's. Then 4th, we see Marist. In the middle of the pack is Niagara, Ryder, Iona, and Mount St. Mary's. Canisius, Siena, and Manhattan round out the bottom 3. This weekend was the MAC Indoor Track and Field Championship. Let's see how the Bobcats did. On night 1, first-year jumper Shaylin Murphy defeated Ryder Savannah Mark Antonio to secure the program's first gold medal at the championship. On day 2, Olivia DeBellis broke the school record in the pole vault with a 3.6 meters. Nyasia Daly came in first place in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.60 seconds. Riley Smith came in first for the 400-meter and 200-meter race. Ali Zafina won the mile. The Bobcats finished 2nd overall in the championship with 179 points, 14 behind Ryder for the MAC title. On Friday night, the men's ice hockey team took a trip up to Providence to take on the Brown Bears. After 60 minutes of play, the Bobcats took home the win against Brown 5-2. In the last 6 minutes of the first period, the Bobcats scored 4 goals. Andon Serbone, Anthony Cipollone, Travis Traylor, and Charles Alexis Legault were the goal scorers. Then later in the 3rd quarter, Zach Tucker scored the last goal for the Quinnipiac. The Bears scored 2 goals, but it wouldn't be enough. Vinny Duplessis had 23 saves for the Bobcats.
On Friday, the team collected their 4th consecutive Cleary Cup, earning them the regular season title. The Bobcats become the first team in ECAC history to win 4 straight regular season titles after clinching the Cleary Cup in the win over Brown. The win locks Quinnipiac in for the 1 seed in the ECAC playoffs in Lake Placid, New York, where the Bobcats will look to win the White Law for the first time since 2016. The team now shifts their focus to the last ECAC regular season games this weekend against Clarkson and St. Lawrence. Another week of play, let's take a look at the USCHO poll. Quinnipiac stays in 7th after this week. Boston College remains in the number 1 seed with receiving all 50 first-place votes. Boston University stays in 2nd. Wisconsin goes up to 4th. North Dakota moves up to 3rd. Michigan State drops to 6th place. Denver moves down to 5th. Minnesota and Maine stay in their seats respectively. The Providence makes a jump to the round out top 10. We're going to take our first commercial break, but when we come back, the acrobatics and tumbling team has its home opener against the new NCATA member LIU. Stay tuned to find out how they did.
And the women's basketball team had a 2-game homestand, including their senior day game against Quinnipiac. We'll be right back on Sports Buzz. Don't go anywhere.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. If you're just joining us, I'm Katie Volukovic, and I'm joined alongside Brittany Bonleven. This weekend, the acrobatic and tumbling team's first home meet of the season happened against LIU. The Bobcats have their home opener against the newly added LIU Sharks, and there's
As you see, the team's getting ready to go into the first event.
In the compulsory event, Pyramid Heat, featuring Tiffany Zeba and Haley Fowler. The event scored the Bobcats a 9.75 score for this heat with a beautiful dismount at the end. And then we're going to move on to the acro event, the 7-element acro heat featuring Mia Rose King, who you'll see later on. The Bobcats earned a 9.65 for this heat, and the amount of strength she has to do that, Brittany.
See the focus she has right there?
Intense focus right there. And then we're going to move on to the tumbling heat. The 6-element tumbling with Tiffany Zeba flying across the mat was another one of the best heats for the Bobcats.
Look at that. You see that right there? Do you see the strength she has?
And then that stick at the very end.
What a beautiful landing by them.
Beautiful landing. Now we're going to go into tumbling, and we're going to see Tiffany Zeba fly across the mat with another one of the best heats for the Bobcats. Zeba scored a 9.85 with her pass.
She did that gracefully right across the entire mat.
And now we're going to move on into the team event. If you look to the top left, you're going to see Maya Rose King, who you saw earlier. The team event closed out with a 94.14 with the one-hand skill for the first time in Bobcats history. And that's one of the most impressive things I think I've ever seen, Brittany.
Katie, the dance part is one of my favorite parts of the meet.
I can see why. The final score for the Bobcats is 272.84 to 232.920 for LIU as they move on with the win over the Sharks.
Former acrobatics and tumbling athlete Nicole Tianga made her return to Lender Court. Acrobatics and tumbling beat reporter Brianna Trachtenberg has more.
Quinnipiac's very own Nicolette Tianga returned to Quinnipiac today, but this time from the opposite side of the mat at the visitors bench as an assistant coach for LIU.
It's bittersweet. I loved being an athlete, but this is the next part of my life, and it's a good start to what I want to contribute to building this program, and I love all my girls at Quinnipiac, so this was this was a very bittersweet moment for me today.
To watch her passion, that she's finally found something that she loves and she wants to do from a brand new sport created for women by women, and that she's now one of those women that's going to pioneer a brand new program is probably one of the most amazing feelings anybody could have.
It's a feeling of warmth, honestly. She's just like a familiar smile, and it just feels really good, and I'm really proud to see how far she's grown in the sport as well.
Yeah, and just watching the expansion of this sport, like, it's really good to see former teammates on and off the mat, so it's really cool.
Despite no longer being on the team, Tianga and Paws continue to maintain their close relationship.
100%. I call Mara all the time. She's my role model. She's my family now. I call her all the time. She gives me everything that I need. She supports me. She gives me the best advice. Everything I know is from her.
Both teams will continue to support each other as LIU looks to keep improving in their inaugural season.
It's a good feeling, and I like that, we get to cheer each other on. It's not like an intimidating type of feeling. It's just really wonderful to see them, and when you lift up their spirits, it's a good feeling.
I just want us to keep going against ourselves and get better scores the entire year for them to build confidence, and I want them to be happy with what they put out there and just to keep improving.
After their win today against LIU, Quinnipiac will travel out west to face off against Azusa Pacific on March 13th. For Q30 Sports, I'm Brianna Trachtenberg.
On Thursday, the women's basketball team took on the Niagara Purple Eagles. The women's basketball team took on the Niagara Purple Eagles on Thursday. Let's go straight into tip-off as we see right here. Katie, you see this? They're going to go tip-off, but Niagara is going to scramble for the ball, and they're going to win it. Let's move to the first quarter, where we see Paige Girardi passes the ball to Grace LaBarge, where she goes up for the layup and scores the first points of the game, a birthday bucket. Then in the next play, we see Girardi lob the ball over to Kadeja Tungo, who scores her first collegiate points. The Bobcats up 15-7. Then in the second quarter, Carton Marson turns the ball over, and Ari Hicks drives and passes to Amelia Strong, finishes the layup. Then we see Tungo again with a huge block to end the quarter, tie the game 22-23 at halftime. Third quarter started with Girardi faking out Shelby Fiddler and driving straight to the basket. Then we see Anna Foley, who chucks the ball to Martin, where she has a wide open fast break layup. The Bobcats go up 42-37. To the fourth quarter, where we see Ava Solani shoot the three, but she misses it. But don't you worry, right here, we see LaBarge put the ball back up, scoring. Then we see Girardi inbounding the ball to Foley, where the two defenders get in the net, and she gets fouled. She makes the free throw with the and one, tying the game, going to overtime, 58-58. As you see here, right here, she's going to make the free throw, tying the game. In overtime, we see the Bobcats scored only 2 points, which came from Bree Bowen 3 throws. You see her make the first one.
That was a great free throw.
And then she makes the second one, Katie. You see right here. To secure the win, we have Chardonnay Hartley, who stole the ball, got it up to Aaliyah Parker, who scored the layup. The Bobcats would lose to the Eagles with a score of 66-60.
After the overtime loss to Niagara, the women's basketball team looked to rebound against Canisius on Saturday. The Bobcats fell to the Golden Griffs 69-53. The team's fourth straight lot in the MAC. Canisius was led by junior Athena Alexa, who led the way with 18 points, and sophomore Cece Ellie Cole, who put up 15 points and 16 rebounds. Despite the loss, first-year Anna Foley had a fantastic effort, scoring 24 and grabbing 10 rebounds. The team will now get ready for the 24-1 Fairfield Stags on Thursday. Over the course of the last few seasons, players on the women's basketball team have been kneeling for the national anthem. Women's basketball beat reporter Emily Sweeney has more.
3 Quinnipiac women's basketball players have made an impact at this university by kneeling for the national anthem. Here's why they do it.
We started doing it because it's just our part in the fight and making sure that there's still awareness and the inequities that continue to plague America, to continue to plague the Black community specifically. There's a lot of people being a part of the Black community. You just see a lot of people who are just scared to go out, scared to be, either a lot of things that you have to go through is just you have to just be extra cautious and things like that. So it's just hard to live that way. So we want to make sure that we continue to bring awareness to that cause.
It's a big cause because of what happened in 2020. Just supporting them. I know it's a big cause. I know we believe in something, that something can change, and it will change.
For Tierra White, it's about how people like her have been treated, and one memory comes to mind.
When I was young, I wanted to play with this girl, and she was like, "Oh, I can't play with you because you're Black," and that really hurt me because she couldn't count to 10, but knew that she didn't want to play with me, and I feel like that's instilled in the home and how people are raised, and I think that's really insensitive and it's not inclusive, and I feel like everybody should be included in everything.
While these three athletes have reasons behind why they kneel for the national anthem, people on the outside looking in don't always see that.
A lot of people get it confused for like disrespecting our military and who protects us. It's not based on that.
And it's not just a, just a thing for social media. It's not just a blackout event, whatever. It's not just a one-time thing. We want to continue to bring that awareness because it continues to happen.
And Raven Douglas has a message for those who don't think their actions kneeling for the anthem are just.
You're part of the problem. If you see what we're doing as a negative thing to the flag, to the whatever, then you're deflecting on what the real issue is, and you are part of the problem.
Reporting for Q30 Sports, Emily Sweeney.
After their 2 losses this past week, the women's basketball team is now on a 5-game losing streak. Let's see how this affects the MAC standings. Fairfield continues to stay in first place, being undefeated in MAC play. Niagara is in second place with a 12-5 MAC record. Third place is the Siena St. Bernards. Fourth place, we see Canisius with a 10-7 conference record. In the middle of the pack is Mount St. Mary's, Quinnipiac, and Ryder. The Iona Gales are in 9th place, and the Marisford Foxes are in 10th. In 11th place is St. Peter's with a MAC record of 3-14. The women's lacrosse team took a trip down Whitney Avenue and played the Yale Bulldogs on Wednesday. The ranked number 21 Yale defeated the Bobcats with a score of 20-8. Junior attack Angelina Sparish scored a career high of 4 goals. This matched her 2023 season goal total. First-year attack Katie Bendowski added 2 goals for the Bobcats. Mia Delmond and Iris Poley both added a goal each. Melissa Murphy and Avi Nikoloff each recorded a collegiate career high of 5 draw controls, which also tied for best on the team.
After their loss against Yale, the women's team switched their focus to face UMass Lowell on Saturday. The Bobcats lost 11-9 against the Riverhawks. Junior midfielder Ella Grace Delman scored 4 goals for the Bobcats throughout the game. Junior Angelina Spargaccio got 3 goals and assists, while senior Lauren Kenny and captain Amy Nikoloff got 1 goal. The team is still looking for their first win of the season as they head on the road to face Sacred Heart on Wednesday. It's time for our last commercial break of the night, but when we return, we'll take a look to see how men's lacrosse did, and they played on the road against Bryant as they look for their 3rd straight win of the season.
In everyone's favorite time of the night, Top 5 Plays, where we crown the best plays of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. The men's lacrosse team took on Bryant on Saturday. The team took down the Bulldogs 13-10 in their third straight win. Senior Dylan Donnery made 4 goals and 3 assists for the Bobcats, while captains John DeLuca and Trevor Douglas both got 3. First-year Nick Maoni also got the first goal of his collegiate career. Goaltender Mason Oak also took home his second MAC Defense Player of the Week this season. The win netted the Bobcats with a few votes in the USA Lacrosse Magazine national poll. The baseball team traveled to South Carolina over the weekend to play the One Spartanburg Baseball Classic. The Bobcats faced USC Upstate, Gardner-Webb, and Presbyterian. Quinnipiac went 1-2 on the tournament and beat Presbyterian 14-8 in the getaway game. Senior outfield Jared Zimbardio led the way for the Bobcats at the plate, going for the six at the dish and tallying 3 RBIs. Sophomore Matt Alduino earned his first win of the season. The team looks for another win as they face Merrimack at home this upcoming weekend.
The NCAA has announced new rules for the 2024 volleyball season. The NCAA has announced a new double contact rule. This means that women's volleyball players are now allowed to make contact with the volleyball more than once, with any part of their body in the same motion. The rule that 3 touches are the same on match side. Additionally, a team can now designate 2 liberos for each set. Only 1 libero is allowed on the court at a time, but teams can now substitute their libero during the set. These new rules are effective for the 2024 season. Both men's and women's tennis took a trip to Army West Point. The men's team lost to Army 4-0. Singles were won by Danielle Vivek and Sariro Sood. Quinnipiac lost all their doubles. Overall, the team won a total of 54 games. The women's team also lost to Army 4-1. Nicole Levisby won her match in 3 sets, being the only Bobcat to score a point in the match. Levisby moved 2-2 in singles this season. The Bobcats' next match for the men's and women's teams are Brown and Rhode Island, respectively. Well, Katie, I think we made it to the end.
Brittany, I think we're forgetting something.
Oh, how could I forget? It's time for top 5 plays. All right, let's move straight to play number 5 at women's lacrosse. Play of 5 on the turf. We see Angelina Sparazio going hound by UML defender, weaves to the contact and gets off while falling down and scores.
Play 4, fourth car. Anna Foley gets the inbound, goes up through contact for the 1 bucket. Bobcats lose in overtime.
How about some playoff hockey? Kayla LaMarche horizontal with the net, finds the opening and snipes one home. Bobcats rout the Crimson 9-0.
Onto the bats. Look at the stretch from Maya Rose King. She executes a 1-arm balance at the team event. Base Chloe White and the Bobcats improve to 2-0.
All right, let's move to play number 1. 6 seconds to play at the half. Loose ball on the floor. Amari Tice, deep range, bang. What a shot from Amari Tice. Barely gets his feet set, somehow extends over Bryson Goodine and drains it. Sports Center moment for the Bobcats. Well, that's a wrap on another episode of Sports Paws. Thank you to the producers and everyone working behind the scenes.
Make sure to follow us on social media at Q30 Sports and visit us online at Q30TV.com.
For Katie Velukovic, I'm Brittany Brown-Lieben. Good night, Bobcats.